of our community. You know the needs and desires of our heart. And you know above all things what is on the agenda that our council needs to make agreement on for the betterment of our community. We thank you for the rain that you gave us just recently, and we thank you for all things that you do for us. The beauty that surrounds us is so immeasurable for us to be able to enjoy. We thank you, Lord, in the name of Jesus, my Christ. Amen.
Amen.
Any public comments submitted?
No, ma'am.
Then we move on to the consent agenda items. We have the regular call meeting from May 4th. The approval of the first quarter financial report from the Llano Chamber. The approval of the financial support report submitted by the Llano Historical Society. Does anybody have any questions, comments, want it moved? Can I hear a motion?
I'll move to approve.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Moving to the regular agenda items. Number 1 is discussion and possible action on the approval of task order SB 2020-19 with Steger and Mizell. Josh, if you would please, sir.
This is just a housekeeping issue. We've got a ongoing deal with Steger and Brazil where they keep our water wastewater maps up to date every year. As we get leaks or anything, we take pictures, GPS them to them. And we realized the other day that we didn't have a current active task order for that particular job.
Okay. Anybody have any questions of Josh?
Same as we've been doing every year.
I have a motion to approve. Do I have a second?
Second.
And a second. Any discussion? Questions? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Motion carries. Presentation, update, and discussion regarding the street project.
At the last meeting, we did have a change order, and there were some questions that came up because it was not on the agenda that way. So I asked, is Dex online, and to give an update on the street project and an opportunity for answering any questions y'all might have. So Dex, are you there?
Yes, I am. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Mayor and Council, for the record, I'm Dex Dean from Steger Bazell Engineers. Thank you, Scott, for bringing us back to help answer questions. Our primary purpose here today is just to provide an update and to answer any questions that you have that may be useful in communicating about the paving project with citizens of Llano. We understand that completing this project is a very big priority for the city, and just want to reiterate that Steger Bazell is happy to provide support for this project. We've come a long way in the past already on this project and avoided a change order to the tune of about $244,000, and also found some billing errors that saved the city additional money. So we've come a long way, but there are things we need to update you on. And we'll be doing that tonight. But before we start on the update, just did want to reinforce that that this is a streets project, and that that additional maintenance will be required. For example, in our capital improvement plan, we had recommended crack sealing and seal coating on a regular 4-year schedule. This was just something that we had discussed with staff, and they wanted us to remind everyone that streets do take maintenance, and ongoing maintenance will be required. With that, I would like to review just a few timeline highlights with you and update you on some of the things we've been discussing with staff, and then I'll save the rest of my time for questions. Last time we were here for an update on the streets project was in December of 2020. And shortly after that, we worked with staff to get estimates from other contracting companies to do the fog seal and striping portions of the contract more quickly. In February, we sent exhibits to city staff because contractors had been asking for exhibits or maps of where the fog seal and striping needed to be done so they could complete their estimates. Then in March, Steger Bazell worked with city staff and sent a letter to the contractor outlining expectations for this paving season and requested a meeting on behalf of the city. At the end of March, that letter was sent March 3rd. On March 23rd, all of the parties, the contractor, the city, and Steger Bazell met together to discuss those expectations and the things that were needed to complete the project. At that time, Cox Paving had committed to providing a proposed schedule for the remainder of the project by the end of that week. That date would have been March 27th. During the beginning of April, Steger Bazell requested information just on an update of the contractor's schedule or timeline for providing that proposed schedule. We were expecting it on March the 27th, but had not received it yet. We had a call with city staff on April the 7th where they notified us that Cox Paving had come into town and had looked at the project, and then they were potentially headed to the coast to give the city time to do patching because in inspecting the work, the contractor had identified some repairs that were needed. We followed up with the contractor on that, and they promised to provide us a list of those repairs. We finally got a hold of that list from the contractor on May 1st. We'd reminded them a few times between early April and early May that we still needed the updated proposed schedule for this season and also notes from their inspection of the project. On May 4th, we came to the council with change order number 4, where we took out fog seal and certain striping items and certain paving items from the contract. And then Steger Bazell sent that change order out on May the 6th. And then on May the 12th, city staff had notified Steger Bazell that Titan Milling had been in town and had removed the tanker truck that had been sitting at the airport from the airport. And there was some concern about whether Cox Paving might be coming back into town or might not be coming back into town. And city staff called and discussed these concerns with Steger Bazell. Is there anything that staff would like to add at this point?
I think you pretty much covered it.
Okay. After we talked with staff, we talked about a few different options. One of the options that we had discussed with staff is that Steger Bazell could provide, this would be outside of the scope of our initial contract, but Steger Bazell could provide an inspector for the remainder of the project. And the purpose of this inspector being on site would be to identify and document issues with the base preparation before the streets were actually cleared for final paving. The thinking being that the inspector could also document any deficiencies that they saw in the previous paving work, and they could help us prepare a final punch list by documenting those issues. We already have an inspector coming out to Llano to inspect the projects along Main Street and Sandstone Street. And what we discussed with staff is that we could just bill hourly for the additional work in providing those preliminary inspection services. The other option we had discussed with city staff was sending a letter to Cox Paving. Basically, this letter would be very similar to the letter that we had sent back on March 3rd, just reiterating our expectations for the project and explaining that the city is prepared to use the remedies that are described in the contract if Cox is not back in town to finish the work. At this point, I'll reserve the rest of my time for any questions.
So we don't know for sure when they're coming back or even if they're going to come back.
That's correct. We have not yet received a schedule, proposed schedule for how they're going to complete the work or a firm written commitment that they're coming back. We've received some, verbal assurances that they're coming back, but nothing in writing today.
So what kind of legal legal recourse do we have on them if they just flat won't respond and give us a date when they're going to be back?
If they're not able to respond or not able to come back into town, the contract provides a couple of options. Obviously the best case scenario here, and the scenario we would be hoping for, is that Cox Paving is coming back to town, and we'd be able to work with them expeditiously to get this project finished and bring it to a successful conclusion. Yeah, that's the outcome we would really hope for. In the event that that does not happen, there are two options under the contract. One is canceling the contract for cause, or terminating the contract for cause. In this case, you would work with a bonding agency to try to get the project finished. The other option is to cancel or terminate the contract for convenience. And under this option, you would just recontract out the remaining work and would not be working with the bonding agency.
What do we owe them? What is their, have we paid them everything?
No.
So what's the
We paid
balance?
them for what they've done.
So what's the balance? I mean, what much do we still?
Jax, do you hear that? I know you probably got this in front of you.
Can you repeat it one more time, please?
The balance due on the contract.
Okay, bear with me just one moment. I have that pretty handy. So to date, sorry, it's taking me just a moment.
Oh, I know, but I mean to finish the contract out.
Okay, so billing to date is $3,371,000 in round terms. And we had originally a $4.2 million contract. So we've gone through approximately 3/4 of the project budget.
What's incentive we have for them to come back? It's like
I mean, obviously, the way it is on our deal, we can't, all we do is discuss tonight, we can't take any action on it anyway, so it may need to come back to us. I would really like for us to reach back out to them again and be maybe a little more stern. I'm of the belief that if they're not gonna come back and finish it, we cash the bond. Go to the bond company.
I agree.
That's my opinion.
I've been saying that for 10 months.
It would.
I've been saying that for 10 months.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty simple, but I mean, obviously we can't.
Can we give them a deadline?
Have we given them a deadline to respond?
I don't think that's going to give them a deadline.
Can we send another letter to them and say, look,
They're gonna
respond
respond
fine?
But Dex, within the contract as well, there is also the clause about the delays. And maybe, yeah, they said the April 1st date of when they were gonna try to come back. and try to get this all up and started. There has been some COVID stuff going out there, but if we give them the deadline, but within the contract, the money owed based off the delays on the contract. We're talking about where that they would pay us for their delays and start, saying, you do not answer us, you do not respond, then we're going to look into this section of the contract and start, charging you for these delays.
Are you referring to the liquidated damages portion?
There's
Basically, yeah.
pretty much, I mean, yeah, I can't remember exactly, but there's a portion in there where it talks about that if they cause undue delays that, or they go over schedule, that there's a certain amount they are fined or penalized daily.
Okay, very good. Yes, it's $970 per day.
Well, the difference is like 829,000 of what we have not, I mean, the difference in the contract, what we paid them, 4,200,000. So I don't know that would even put a dent in it, but it's worth, you know.
It's an incentive for them. If they have to pay us daily $1,000 a day, basically whatever it is, if they have to pay us that much for any additional delays in the project, that's an incentive for them to get off their feet and make it a priority.
I think we're all in agreement that either staff or y'all need to, I'm a big believer of being nice, but then there comes a time when you're not nice anymore. And I think we're at the point where we don't need to be nice anymore. It's time to start telling them that we're going to follow the contract like Kara was just saying. And if we can't get anywhere that way, then we go to the bond company. That's my opinion. We say we're talking about it all night, but it's not changing tonight.
No, but this gives us all something to
Yeah.
think about for the next council.
I haven't been very pleased with it for the last year, or maybe even more longer.
Sydney has several times reassured that they will finish the project because it is
Oh, yeah.
in his favor to finish the project. He has
Yes, ma'am.
He has family here, he doesn't want this on his name, you know, so.
I don't know if we need to reach straight out to Sydney or what, but we need to do something because I'm catching more and more heat over it. I'm sure that some of y'all are too. And it's time for it to be done.
I think if we establish a schedule and a date and set that out there, we've allowed them more than enough time to get their stuff done. But we can't do any work, it delays everything else.
I remember us telling them we wanted to know where they were going to start, so
Right.
that's where we would start.
Right.
So, I don't know if we haven't gotten that.
It's to restart it, right? Last September, they're supposed to be back.
Yeah. And they were supposed to be back.
First of April, supposed to be back.
It was supposed to take a summer and a half to do it to complete.
What they put down, not gonna last its lifetime, but we're gonna have to be redone again.
Part of that too, kind of in a way works to our favor is when we talk about like punch list items, all of this that's already been done is not, we haven't reached substantial completion. So they can't accrue their warranty for that. So their warranty hasn't started. So they have to fix the stuff, the issues that have occurred, right?
Yes.
Three quarters of the town previously. So it just extends, I mean, it's not in their favor. It extends the work that they have to do, the warranty place when the warranty starts.
Any other questions?
I don't have anything else.
Yes, thank you for the
Other
information.
than an update, maybe at the next council meeting, if what y'all get together decide. Right. It's time to tell them to put up or shut
So
up.
I think,
But I think at the next council, then, when we get the update, then we can make a decision and, so we want to put.
Maybe we need to have it where we can have approval first of action.
Dex, I think we should send them a letter and give them a deadline.
I would say, I mean, it's what, the 18th? We need to, I would put their feet to the fire and tell them that we need to know something June 1. That's my opinion.
That's our next council meeting, yes.
I mean, we need an answer.
Does our lawyer need to be also on the signature of this letter, or just do them right now?
He would probably have to review that section of the contract and make sure that everything is in order with certain sections of the contract to make sure that we.
Before we do further action.
So really, we're not doing anything starting, right, so, y'all know how we feel, but maybe bring it back next time.
Actually, I'd say we need to know an answer from them by the 29th. It gives you time to put it on the agenda. Did you catch that?
I did, and I think that's
Is that
important.
reasonable? It's basically 2 weeks, pretty close.
It's very reasonable.
I mean, I'm all about trying to work with people, but then, like I said, there comes a time where it's time to move forward. If that's legal action or whatever that action is, to hold their feet to the fire and make them get back here and do it, or make their bond company find a contractor to come finish it.
Or pay us for the,
Right, or pay us for the.
they get Dex time to draft up something, it's time for it to go to the attorney and make sure it's right, exposure there.
Will that work?
Yes, we're happy to work with staff to work on drafting up a letter, and I think you rightly recognize that any of these other options will take time. So getting a response quickly is pretty important for the project.
What I'm saying is, I think it needs to be in that letter. If they don't respond by May 29th, on June 1st, council will take action against them in some shape or form. Or that, that we'll be exploring our options.
Is there anything else on the streets? Thank you, Jax.
Thank you.
Number 3, discussion and possible action regarding the March 2020 financial report as presented. That's when.
Yeah. Can you guys hear me? In your packet, you have the March financial report. It's only like 2 weeks into the COVID crisis that we have going on. I know you guys are concerned about what's happening with that. And I kind of looked from March and into April to see where we are. We know we had to close the golf course and the arena. So over that 6-week span, I estimate that we lost about $12,000 of revenue at the golf course and $13,000 at the arena. Sales tax, it's kind of early to know. The payment that we got even May 8th was for March sales, and it was better than March of 2019. So things were going along really well through March. Utility collection wise, when we did the billing on May the 8th, we were maybe $12,000 to $14,000 in higher uncollected debt than the previous months. So that really hasn't hit yet. Robinson Park, RV Park, it was looking good too, all the way through March and April. You guys have any questions about anything in your packet?
Wonder how many people have taken advantage of this COVID fees? You know, for the delay in payment?
I have not counted up the number of customers with outstanding balances. I can do that for you guys though, and compare it to previous periods.
I think she's asking them, how many has signed up for deferred payment? Is that correct?
We're not having people sign up since the cutoff date's been moved to July 7th. So instead of getting a termination notice on the 25th of May for June the 7th, we're going to postpone it a month, and we're going to advise them that if they won't have things taken care of, they'll need to make the application and get it done a couple of weeks in advance. So that'll be happening during June, the middle of June.
So you're not sitting down any delinquent, or telling them that there's delinquent?
We're just telling them they need to have everything taken care of by the 7th of July.
But you're doing that in this month's payment?
Instead of sending a termination notice this next time after the bills are due, we're going to tell them they need to come in, make an application to see if they have a COVID-related inability to pay, if they can get approved for the extra 90-day extension that'll go past July the 7th.
You answered my question. I'm sorry. The way I'm asking it, I think it was not right. I do have one other question, Linda. On these, there's several accounts that we have that says the series of 2017 tax obligation bonds. It's the last 4 or so accounts on your sheet here, your cash and investment sheet. That's looking to me like right at 120-something thousand that's not getting the kind of interest that we're getting on the other ones. Can we not consolidate and put that back into the general fund to be able to collect that interest? Because that's about $1,000 a month we're missing out.
Or we could move it to tax pool instead of having it be there.
Just a thought. I'd like to be able to take advantage of what little interest the banks are paying.
I see the INS account that you're talking about that has the 107,000, but which other accounts are you looking at?
Well, there's 2 little ones. The series 2017 tax and revenue, it's got 5,000 in it.
Okay, those are moving balances. We transfer money from tax pool into those, and then we pay the bills. And on Water Development Board, they release escrow money, and then we pay the bills out of there. So the money's moving through.
Okay, so that's not something you can put back into the general fund?
No, it's not a constant balance in there.
Okay, that's not my question. My question is can you not move that money back into the general fund and use that as like a GL line item and still be able to get paid on those funds at a bigger interest rate?
I could get a higher interest rate on the interest in sinking one, but not all of them.
Okay. That's really all. Does anyone else have questions? Hear a motion. I have a motion to approve. Do I have a second? And a second. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Motion carries. Discussion and possible action regarding a request for a fitness trail and markers at the big park, and that is
I believe Jennifer is online and can do the whole presentation.
Oh, okay.
Jennifer, you there?
She's muted.
Yes, I'm here. Hey guys.
Hey.
Hey.
Well, first I want to say thank you for the opportunity to join you all this evening. It's nice to see some familiar faces. I wish I could be in the room with you all. But I believe you all received the PowerPoint or the presentation. I'll go ahead and share my screen to where we can work through that this evening. So at Hill Country Memorial, we are looking at efforts to bring fitness into the communities. And part of that comes with the neighborhood fit trails. And so last week we had the opportunity to meet with Julie, as well as Joe, as well as Scott, and talk through some of the different things with the neighborhood fit trail. This is a no-cost opportunity to partner with you all and the Llano Parks Project. And Julie shared that it aligns directly with the community needs outlined in the master plan. This will be a temporary project that we're looking from, as you all know, with the start of COVID, gyms have been closed, more people have been outside, and this is an opportunity to encourage fitness. And hopefully one day will turn into a permanent project where we're able to partner with you all to bring in permanent fixtures into Badu Park. And whether that be aerobic exercises, yoga, of various things in between. So the great thing about these signs is they are versatile. We can move them around, and it's fun for the whole family. If you all were able to watch the video that we shared, we have a direct link on the website to the neighborhood fit trail where users can come in and download the Google Maps that are associated with it. And you can even watch a fun instructional video where we walk through the different ways of making the exercises easy for all audiences. And it was a fun activity. So with this, it would be 10 outdoor stations where you can see we have 4 of them set up in Fredericksburg, 1 at the park, and then a few around town. So if anyone else in Llano would be interested in this, we can bring this into those areas as well. So HCM will provide all of the content. There won't be any cost. We have plug and play social already developed that you all could put on your social media. We'll be creating videos tomorrow, or if it's approved, with a variety of things. We would house the fit trail on Google Maps and help promote that as well. And one of the big pieces with this is it would be included on that website and the instructional video. So as we look at this, we really want to highlight this partnership opportunity with you all, the city, the Llano Parks Project, and the future opportunities of bringing fit trails into our communities. And we would like to include a write-up in the Purpose magazine, which goes out to about 55,000 households throughout the Texas Hill Country, to showcase y'all's innovative efforts and what you all are doing to align with that master plan. So at this time, do you all have any questions? I'm sorry, I didn't hear that.
Is there any cost involved?
No.
No, there's no cost.
I have a motion on the floor to approve, and I have a second.
Who's second?
Sammy.
Sammy wants to lead it.
Sammy, you can do it with me.
Do what, Jennifer?
Sammy, you can join me. We can do it together.
You bet. One thing Sammy don't like is the W thing.
Yeah. All those in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you, Jerry.
Thanks, Jennifer.
Bye, thank you guys.
Discussion and possible action regarding the city of Llano purchasing for Cura policy. And I'm gonna let Sandy take that one if you would, please.
I know that some of the departments are having a hard time getting 3 bids on whatever they're trying to do. I just feel like that it needs to be, I think maybe 4 or 5 years ago now, it was changed, and I believe that we need to go back to the state regulations on our purchasing, which is, if you're spending over $50,000, then you're required to get bids. I'm not against going out trying to find cheaper alternatives, but whenever they're spending more time running, trying to get bids from 3 people, and then they can end up only getting 1 bid if they're lucky. I just think that, and it's not only that, I mean, they can only spend $100 at, they have to have a PO, am I right, if it's over $100?
No, an individual employee can go up and buy something up to $100.
Yeah, right.
Then up to $500, the department head can okay that. Then after that, then it requires 3 verbal quotes.
And
That's pretty strict.
yeah, I mean, that's just not doable sometimes.
I have a problem anytime the city of Llano puts in an ordinance or a policy that's more strict than what state guidelines are.
But I know, like, for instance, when I worked for the county, me and Scott talked about, he had the same thing at the school. At the county, at Road Bridge, they had I can't remember if it's $1,000 or $1,500 standing PO every month at Buttery's, the parts houses, where they got their tires, where we got flats fixed, all that kind of stuff. I think that we need to go back to, we need to move towards something like that. I mean, let Scott approve where these POs go. I'm all for exactly where all they need. But, have a standing PO at Buttery's for water and sewer, have a standing PO for the street department at Buttery. That because it's tying their hands, and they're spending more time, instead of getting something done, they're having to run around trying to figure out where they buy it from. And then come up here and wait to get a PO and all that, whenever Linda could issue a PO at the first of every month for those places that are standing. I mean, for every department. I'm not saying one just for the city of Llano. I would do it by department. Something $1,000, $1,500, something like that. And the way I look at it is, if I'm going to say parks, I'll use Ricky. If one of his guys goes and spends a bunch of money on something they don't need, Scott was telling me that Ricky would have to sign off on that at the end of the month anyway. If he sees that, we need to hold our employees accountable for not. Y'all see what I'm saying?
Misusing.
Right.
Yeah, yes. Yes.
I mean, I don't know, but I think something like that help y'all, Josh, or?
Yes, I mean, simply, 2 joints of 4-inch PVC pipe, you gotta get a bill.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's a great idea, but I will say this. When it comes to something like tires, I would really like to see us, even if they're a little more, to shop locally instead of going out of town and getting them. And, if we're trying to keep our department money down, I understand that if it's a reasonable amount, the time it takes to pay somebody to go get it somewhere else, and it's not helping our local people. So I just feel like we really need to push that a little further, and I think all departments can do better at that.
Well, that's what I'm saying. What this would do is they could have a PO at Inman Station, or I'm just using that one,
Sure.
or A1, or.
Well, I've seen
Millers
them
is still doing
get
the
several POs at different places here and go and get them in Leander or.
Right. I'm 100% with you. I would rather us
Stay here.
stay here and give our people that's paying their taxes and their utilities.
Buy the tires somewhere else and come here and have them mounted.
Yeah, well, that's what they're doing.
I know.
But I wasn't doing this over tires.
No, I know,
This is a
but I was
broader,
saying that
you
because it's
know, I
broader.
mean, it's just, I can only imagine when I worked at Buttery's or whenever I worked at the county, and we were at a 12-inch by 24-foot culvert pipes, and I had to wait to go get a PO to put that in. That would have drove me bananas. Where I could have just rang the Buttery's, audit, sign the ticket, put the PO on it, off I go. I mean, it's just, I don't know, it makes sense.
I'd like to see us change the procurement policy and then let you put in the wording that you want. Issue the POs to.
You've got to have some sort of internal control, like, you know,
Right.
an employee can go up and get to a certain amount, and after that, the department head, and then after that, would be my approval. So, I mean.
Basically, I guess what I'm saying is, if we can't trust one employee that we have working for us up to 1,000 or 1,500, we probably really don't need them.
Yes.
So what I'm saying is after you reach that threshold for that PO, then, and there's gonna be months that they'll go over that. You understand what I'm saying? That's gonna happen. I mean, just naturally, but, I mean, I don't think any employee, I shouldn't say any employee should be able to spend over whatever that, you know, let's say $1,000 or something on that line without having approval from their department head, if that's what you're asking.
Right.
Well, that's what I'm saying, there's definitely some sort of internal.
Do you think, Josh, do you think this is something that, well, obviously you already said it would help you out, but do you think it's something that you can probably see, you can control in your department that, you know?
90% of our stuff, which it violates the city's purchasing policy, 90% of our stuff comes from Tech Line Pipe, which is an LCRA contract. Our policy doesn't account for that. And, I mean, tires.
Yeah.
Tires, we absolutely spent 3 days to buy 2 tires.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. You're not, I mean, Ricky told me it took him 4 days to get 3 bids on a set of tires.
So we talked about it in the other day, there's several things that would be streamlined by
Doing this.
being able to use who we always use and have always used, and just eliminating the in-between game.
I'm sorry, Brian, I didn't understand you.
Is this something Scott could write up?
Yes, that's what I meant.
Well, I would be, I mean, I think if, Eugene, you have any comments about it? Chief?
Most department heads are gonna know what purchase they're gonna be needing right anyway.
Linda, can you hear me?
Ed?
You have any comments about it?
At one time, the individual departments issued their own purchase orders. That might be worth considering in some instances. But the,
You probably don't want, you would probably rather have your purchase order come from your finance.
Yes,
I wouldn't cross that over. You want that,
My issue with purchase orders, they're not tied back to the Encode system at all. They're just a piece of paper.
so the purchase order, well, I was thinking too with our budget coming up, that we could set amounts based on maybe past history with the budget coming up, kind of looking into what Sammy is saying, and it kind of has those items out there for certain categories and hires.
The way it worked for me when I was at the school is each month I had like 5 or 6 different companies that I did a monthly PO for. And I'm just going to say, pull out a number that say like $1,500 for down here in Buttons. But then I had 8 employees that they all used that same PO number. So whenever they would go down and purchase something, they would give them that PO number. Well, at the end of the month, when the bill came in, then I had to have tickets and check everything off, make sure that everything was counted.
That's what the county worked too, is we had a file that those, like, all of our receipts went into every day. So they just put them in, we put them in there, and then they kind of kept a running total of where they were at on that PO, and you know how they said, you said that they went over, at the county, what they would do is they would, of course, Cindy Lynn does all the POs there, obviously. But she would up that PO, so if it was gonna be, in other words, at June 15th, we were at $1,200, you're pretty sure you're gonna go over that. She would up it another 500 or whatever, it's not that PO.
I'd like to make a motion to get Scott and the department heads together and y'all work up some kind of a procurement system to help streamline the process and make it easier on you. Not make them run around for 3 days.
Sounds like a good motion. Do I have a second?
Yeah, I'll second, but can you have that back to us, next meeting?
currently an ordinance in place that you can spend up to 10% more locally.
Right. Now, I'm all for us spending locally, and I think this will help us whenever, when Josh needs a set of pickup tires, instead of having to call around and get all these bids for 4 tires.
Wait, can I get a second?
I said,
Did you second it? Oh, okay.
Sorry, I did.
Somehow I missed it in your
You know,
discussion.
then he can, if he wants to go, if we got a PO, he can stay, he can go ahead and use it. I'm just using it wherever, I don't care, he can go buy his tires.
Any other comments, discussion? All those favor of the motion say aye. I'm sorry, Sandy.
That's all right, no, I said, it. I said, I'll second that, but I asked Scott.
Discussion and possible action regarding the purchase, exchange, lease, sale, or value of real property, and that is Ms. Erica.
So the city received a letter from the Idols requesting to purchase a lot of land. Y'all had it in your packet, but this piece on the corner of Legion and Burden Hill. If we were to do this, we would have to go out for bid on it. We can't sell it to them directly. I believe we've had another request
There was another
to
request.
sell this portion up on East Houston, where is that a water tower?
For the water tires.
And again, if we did that, we'd have to go to bid on it. But that's completely up to
The
you.
one on East Houston, Josh, you correct me if I'm wrong, but we kind of held on to that just in case we needed it for distribution purposes and whatnot. The one that Ms. Idle were talking about, it's been kind of used as overflow parking for them, park when there's festivals and whatnot.
So the property right next to Idle, that's, I guess, north of this property, does he own already?
I believe so, yes.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna say that very same thing. I think we need to keep that, for overflow parking, and he can put up a fence and we just have more people on the street. And, that could be something that we can even pay for and use for that thing. As far as the Houston Street, I know that's not what, I'm talking about here, but unless if y'all put another tower up, I think that's an eyesore, let it go, especially in that neighborhood. That's my
The
opinion.
problem with that one is that if there is asbestos possibly, and we would have to do an abatement, and that would be all.
The one up on the hill? Interesting.
And that also brings up, the person who approached me has property adjacent to it. And when I pointed it out, I said, yes, sir, but I can't just sell it to you. I have to
Right.
put it for bid, and I guarantee that.
You get it? Sure. Yeah. Well, that's just the way all houses do normally. I just thought we should be able to sell them if one, and then, if they don't get it, the right person doesn't get it, then maybe they can sell it to the other person.
Josh, you had your hand raised. Did you want to say something?
Yeah, not hit on it, but another thing, that Birmingham property is the one-day future home of the old Texas lift station that was wiped out in 2018 flood.
Future home what?
The lift station that's in the boulevard right now, that's where it will end up at one point in our life. And the reason we've always held on the water tower was you could grow the water system, and that whole area around it's vacant.
Is the water tower still any good?
Actually, that property's been sold now. Everything around it has been
On
sold.
the backside. Never developed. But
And speaking of which, well,
Well, the only one we've got really on the agenda is the Legion and
it
Burke.
just says, it doesn't
It's
say.
both.
doesn't
Is
list
it both?
That is for both.
Okay. Okay.
Anyway, I say keep it.
On the Birmingham, Legion Drive. Yeah. But on the Houston, you would be in favor of selling.
it's nice for sitting up there the way it is. Pages of property, but at the same time, yeah, it's a nice store like that.
But so the tower's not usable, it has asbestos. And the cost to remove the asbestos would be on our check, right? Our money, if we were to sell it.
So we're sure it has asbestos?
It won't, I mean, the ones there,
I don't think so. You sell it,
yeah, there's.
As long as you disclose it, I would think it'd be fine.
Sell it as is.
Is there any other equipment there or any?
Where does that water line stop at right now?
There's a, I'll have to double check, there's a fire hydrant that's up there. I don't remember if it got disconnected when we were doing the road project or not. I believe it did, we just have the fire hydrant.
The old water line used to go right through Martin Miller's house. And then it's all down and now in the street.
It's all in the street, it went to the very end of the, basically that purple line right there. Between the purple line and the property line, is where the water line ran. In the right of way. Part of the road, where that is water from the street.
Is there any thought of any future, I mean, in your eyes, any future need for a different tower there, a water tower? I mean, is it usable? Is
If
it?
that property in that area developed, I think you would have a possible need for another electric source.
Why couldn't it be put in the street?
Storage tank, he said tank.
No, I know, but if we needed to put a tower there, why couldn't we do it in the street? That's not developed right now.
So then,
I mean, it's the same size.
that's all plotted already, isn't it? Platted and covered.
Yeah.
So where do you put it, so you put your water tower in,
Well, it's the end of the road right there. So
no, I know where it's at, I know exactly where it's at. But that road, it's platted to keep going, isn't it?
I don't think so. I think it stops right there in
It
the
goes in the north.
Norton
It
Estate.
goes in the north.
Oh, yeah, I guess it's true.
That
don't mean
that cul-de-sac.
It doesn't mean it's not platted.
But if.
I mean, all the Merkles up there, north of town, across the road, every bit of that's platted too.
Just because it's platted, doesn't mean we can't close it.
No,
So you can't put it in the cul-de-sac? You can't put it in the cul-de-sac? No, the one like behind, there's a street.
Right behind.
Right behind there.
you're talking about to the north.
Yes.
An elevated tower would not be good there because it's in the instrument approach to the airport.
I got you.
Oh, yeah.
The houses over there.
Oh, there you go.
because you'll run.
But I mean, the purpose of having it on the hill, is you're on the hill, you're on the highest part, one of the highest parts going down. You're going to be elevated the whole line.
Use a ground source.
So what does council want to do?
What are your suggestions, Josh?
It's a big what if, I mean, if that develops, you may need more storage. If it stays pasture land, you gotta use some fence in it, or use some big storage in it, but
For sure, we need to keep the one down here because of the pump station or the lift station that's going to be there.
yes, I would definitely recommend keeping that one.
I'm for selling that other one, and again, if we needed to, because we're really just talking about the property, if we needed to do something, we could put it in the street at the end there.
Does it have asbestos? I don't know, I think the neighbor.
Does it have what? I'm sorry.
Asbestos.
Oh,
I was thinking that's what it may at least.
Code
think
enforcement
what-
says it has asbestos.
Huh?
Code enforcement said it has asbestos.
As long as you disclose it, you don't
That
have to.
tank
leave.
knows.
And you know what, call Carrie on that. But I'm fairly certain, it doesn't matter if it's government owned or whatever, as long as you disclose it, and let the person know that the person. You know, I mean, it's their problem. If they wanted to tear it down.
You need a motion to move it to the next meeting. I'll make a motion to move this particular Houston Street deal to the next first meeting in June for further discussion.
Do we own any other property?
Okay, I got a motion and a second.
And I would like to say before the next meeting, we can find out how far that street is platted. And, you know, alternatives of putting it, like I said, at the end of the street, it's not been opened yet. I'm pretty sure the end of that other street, the end of that on the backside is closed anyway. Which would be Salem possibly. But if y'all can just look at that maybe next council, would be great.
Fargo should be right to the east of that
By
property.
my house,
East of that property, Fargo Street right away should be there. And it should be platted and to the city limits line. If they're in the city limits.
so that would be, that'd still go through the Norton property.
Do what?
That would go through the Norton property.
Yes. I don't know if they're-
And even the ones west of that, I'm thinking the one right next to my house, the backside has been closed. John Ferguson closed that one. But anyway,
Okay, that takes care of the Salem Street, no, Houston Street. Okay, all in favor of the motion to bring back for the next council with the information requested?
okay. wait a minute.
Okay, so what I have is a motion to keep the Legion Street property and move the Houston Street property to June 1st for discussion and action.
Okay,
And I need to vote.
all those in favor, say aye. Aye. Motion approved. Discussion and possible action regarding the reopening of city utilities in light of the COVID restrictions.
Oh, facilities, not
Or facilities, I'm sorry, except that it says restrictions.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, as y'all probably aware, a lot of things, change daily, and today, the governor had another meeting. There's a couple of things that we need to look at. First of all, and I believe Nikki's on here, is you should have a copy of the deal that was a portion of the TML update. And it said local swimming pools may cooperate only if permitted by local government. That's why part of that's on the agenda, but in case y'all don't know, the little storm that we had come through Friday night blew the roof off of the girls' bathroom. So it's left over close towards the community center, so there may be a little delay there. But I talked with Nikki, if we okay the operation of the pool, then she's has kind of started the process of, or she's made the contacts to get the lifeguards trained. We are at the direction that we've been given is I guess 50% capacity, which I had Donnie and the fire marshal go out, and I believe that number is 100. And we've never had that problem. Right, so, I've got, Nikki, do you have any comments?
I'm on. Sorry, what did you say? I couldn't hear you.
Yeah, do you have any comments?
No, I just know a lot of people are really wanting to open. We're getting calls by the hundreds every day. So I'm just I just told them to be patient. We'll figure it all out.
Question, is there any way that we could do some kind of release and actually have the parents sign a release stating that, you know, if they get COVID, they can't come back on the city, and I don't guess they can come back on the city anyway. I mean, is there anything that we can do there to kind of double protect ourselves?
I'm not sure if she just asked me something, but I can't hear her.
She was asking if it would do any good to have like parents sign a release statement. So if, say a child did get sick or something, I don't know that it's, I mean, you can ask how to do it.
Yeah, exactly.
We work to an extra risk.
I think, you know, the thing is, you know, it goes true for kids, you know, if you're not feeling well, then you can stay at home.
What kid's gonna tell them they don't feel good?
Do what now?
What kid is gonna say they don't feel well and they can go swimming?
Well, I mean, as a parent, you should know.
Well, we've had instances out there before where, I don't think the child was sick, but he, you know, wet on
Yes.
concrete. And it
Yes.
wasn't pretty to clean up, so.
See the motion.
What do y'all mean? I'm just gonna cover several of them. We're gonna go ahead and open the theater this Friday and Saturday. And Tony's been working on that, has things in place.
I believe that capacity is 100 also.
That's 150. This past weekend, we started, we allowed the use of the event center at the JLK Center, and that's, you know, following social guidelines and everything. Ray has had, you know, he started the members group where they come out and ride, and we started that today, and he said they are all sick to death. They call and make an appointment, and that all worked out. The other thing was the events that can take place out there. I'm gonna say like a full-fledged barrel racing or a team roping or something, and the governor pretty much, I think if you'll refer to the handouts that I give you, talks about rodeo and equestrian events. I know Ray's work and got things in place, so I think that pretty much takes care of that.
City Hall. City Hall.
Oh, City Hall. He did come out and say that they, businesses could open. I think it was a greater of 10 people or 5%, 10%. We have been all along shooting for June 1st as our date. And so we just want to see that. People put the sneeze guards up and we've been working on it. So that was our goal, was to have.
You got the sneeze guards downstairs?
Yes. And at the JOK Center, the land tax, golf course. So, does anybody have a question about any of
So we can get back to normal there.
Does the swimming pool have like a sneeze guard where you pay the money to get in?
They have a tiny window.
Yeah.
No, I mean, we don't have one of those things. There's one. I think one thing, I don't know, how long is it gonna take us to fix the roof, you think?
I was going to look at it, he didn't do that, so I don't know, I've been looking at these, but never done. I talked to David yet. I don't know if they're going to that down or reverse. They might be.
and I'll call, I called Nikki today, and we just weren't able to connect, and, but I'll get with her tomorrow and see what she wants there as far as having access to it.
When I was growing up, the bathrooms never had a roof on them. That's what you say, we just didn't see it. I don't know, maybe.
When the drums in,
That's how the big boy from the football used to get into the pool.
The restaurant did have a roof over it.
Over the tree and over the fence and over the
Yeah.
roof, so the hill.
We do have some flags, one of those things that go in the sky, take pictures of the drones, and anyway, so, yeah.
So I guess really what we need is y'all's okay.
I make a motion to open all city facilities under the governor's guidelines.
I'll second. Have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Okay. Discussion and possible action regarding the reinstatement of the Parks and Recreation Board and allowing staff to advertise for members.
Julie approached Scott and I the other day and was asking about reinstating the board, and we feel like it's a good idea. And we can reach out to those other organizations if we get some members.
What was the reasoning then? I mean, I know we dissolved it because we didn't think we needed it, so what's the?
Because the national plan is in place now, and the FEMA money, hopefully we'll get money from FEMA to fix the park back up. And just kind of, it would be I would like it because it would just be a general group decision instead of ours.
Right.
And I think one thing,
What goes in, what happens.
one thing that didn't happen before, you didn't have a representative from Crawfish or Lee or whatever on there. And this is just a way to create I guess, a communication.
Crawfish has some concerns about how they design Robinson Park, and they could bring those concerns to this board and hopefully get knocked out, or have a member on this board.
Because the parks people that put together all the parks plan, I mean, they're kind of done with what you're trying to do. And the reason.
Well, they're still can be raising funds.
Raising the funds or whatever, but they're part of developing the parks and trying to get all this started or whatever. I mean, it was kind of the same people who were meeting.
Yeah.
They didn't want to meet twice a month and.
Yeah, they met here on Tuesday and there on Wednesday, so.
Yeah.
Or same day, different.
They were very helpful, especially the playground out there.
Yeah, and that's how the disc golf course got planned to put up. Here.
Last time was the Parks Recreation, or Park Group. This time we get bring another group to baseball.
Right.
Crawfish.
Make a motion to approve.
Okay. I have a motion and a second on the floor. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Discussion and possible action regarding a lease agreement with Baylor Scott White for a communications facility to be placed on property owned by the city and authorizing the mayor to execute the agreement.
So this is that tower that we've been discussing ad nauseam for the last 2 years. And we finally have everything approved and they're comfortable going forward. I had Luke look over the agreement and I sent the red lines agreement to Scott White and they want to go through with it still. So the only thing that I know that wasn't changed, that should have been changed, is the term date needs to be changed to today. If we get this.
I'm curious what the role is and I'll make a motion to approve. Have a motion. We need to talk after this. Do I have a second? I have a motion and a second. Any discussion?
I wanted to know, I didn't see it in the lease agreement, what if Baylor Scott White going to pay us to have their tower on our property?
Well, I'm not sure if there was going to be payment or if it was going to be, we were going to be allowed to put our equipment that's on our radio tower, our water tower.
Because I don't think it's actually for us to put our communication on their tower.
Well, it's not our
On
communication.
their tower.
It's, we're being paid to, have certain connections on our water tower. And so the agreement was if they built this tower, we could put our, those
It's like a county-
connections.
County has, there's a good.
But
So the county pays us, Decon pays us, all, like, several companies pay us to put their stuff on our water tower. Scott and White would allow us to move that to their tower and not pay, you know, and still receive the payment for it.
I would still think as big as River's gotten more is, that they can afford to pay us as well as let us put our equipment on their tower. I don't know, that's my opinion.
Well, now, they have not been paying us in the past, because I know that was an issue I had with them the last time this brought up. So, actually, there was also some equipment they had in the bottom of the tower that they were leaving there, and they weren't paying us for that either. So, yeah, I have no problem with what Karen said.
I just think they are a very large company. They
No,
make
I agree.
good money, and they can pay us, in addition to letting us put our stuff up there, whatever ours is.
Oh, it's the-
County, those kind of things, but they can still pay us.
They see things.
Oh,
They got it in their packet.
No.
Scott and White? Yes.
Let's,
Send it back.
I don't know what a fair amount is, but I think
There's some, they're probably doing the same as surrounding cities. I have to, of course, you make, I don't know.
If we want to add an amount, what amount do we want to add?
Should we find out maybe from Horseshoe Bay or if they're utilizing a tower of theirs or some place else?
It'd be worth something.
Free medical expenses for all employees and.
The reason the hospital, which y'all are aware of this, the reason the hospital doesn't pay is because it used to be Llano County Hospital.
Right. And,
That's how
yeah,
that happened.
it never changed because.
Yeah, right, and, you know, to add to that, Baylor Scott Mike's pulling out here anyway, other than the clinic. So,
Well, I don't like twisting my. You're taking my motion back.
Yes.
Do you want to get
I think
the,
I said that.
yeah, you're second, I'm sorry. Do you want Karen?
I don't know what that amount is for,
We
like,
currently have a land lease with
Altel.
Tower Hotel on Old Smith Hill property for the same thing, except for we don't have access to put them on.
But they don't pay us either.
No, they did.
No, they do.
They did.
Yeah, we own the land, they lease land, it's their equipment, their towers.
yeah, I absolutely,
I
I
guess
don't,
that,
I don't know what I go and read for it,
the same amount of money as whatever they're paying us on that.
or more, I mean, if that, it depends on how the.
Yeah, I had to look at it, it looked different, it had an escalating fee. You know, the more years you went into it, the higher the fee.
I say that,
We table this to next.
yeah, pass it to the next one, and then
But it's a reasonable cost.
do you have time to chase down a cost or meet with Scott about a cost or something?
Sure.
We should be able to.
Look into
Becky,
yeah.
I mean, we can find out what Alltel's paying, or not Alltel, American Tower.
Also need to find out if that's a reasonable price that they're paying.
No,
Right.
exactly.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on how long the agreement's been out there.
From what I've been told, it's 30.
Yeah, should play is, because I mean, some of these people that get paid to have a tower on their land, it's pretty good chunk of change here.
Yeah, it is, right.
Big chunk of change here. Like, somebody don't have to work no more.
John Carter's got one out there in his place. He's a good with that.
Yeah.
He's researching, I'm sure.
Okay, so we'll table this till the next meeting, Erica.
Got it.
Okay. Then we're supposed to go into executive session pursuant to Texas Government Code 551.074 personnel. The city council will meet in closed session to deliberate the appointment, employment, duties, compensation, and benefits of the city secretary. Now, would we like to take a bit of a recess? Or do we need to-
We can either stay in here and I can mute this and close the doors or go in there or.
I don't care, whatever you want to prefer to do.
Good right here, I'll go in there, I'll move away.
Okay,
All right.
I am going to mute this for executive session and ask everyone else to leave.
appointment, employment, duties, compensation, and benefits of the city secretary. Do I hear any action?
I'll make a motion to extend Erica's contract an additional 2 years.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye.
Did you,
Motion carries. We are adjourned.
What do we need to bring this, it's,
Bring it back. I think Eric is already putting it down.
I have to have it in a motion.
Oh, yeah,
Bring it
make
back.
that motion.
Bring back, I'll make a motion to bring back at the first June meeting, first meeting in June, the compensation part of your evaluation.
The what?
Compensation.
Oh,
Do I have a second? Is that me? And I do have a second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Once again, and finally, we are adjourned. Sorry.
Thank y'all.
Thank
Thank
y'all.
What y'all do.